A couple months back, I was finalizing plans for a trip to an event called G-Fest, an annual convention where Godzilla fans gather from all around to embrace their love for the one and only King of the Monsters. Anyways, the convention just happens to take place in Chicago, only an hour or so away from my favorite video game company, Volition. So since I was going to be in the area, I thought I should try to see if I can get a tour of the company. I shot a Skype message over to Volition's community developer Mike Watson, aka Idle Ninja, asking if I could come by during G-Fest. Not only did he agree, he would also set up a schedule so I could play their new game Agents of Mayhem and meet many of the individuals in the company who help bring their games to life. The date was set for July 15th, and I would owe my eternal gratitude to Mike for allowing me to have such an incredible opportunity. The time finally came and the tour would start exactly how you'd expect. Okay, so after my nerdum overload and the tour actually started, Mike introduced me to Alex Media and Josh Strinson. Alex is Volition's video editor and Josh is their video production assistant. You're probably more familiar with them from Volition's weekly streams or Josh's YouTube channel. I should mention that Alex has a YouTube channel as well with some great behind the scenes for making the Saints Row trailers and other unique videos. After a short talk about their jobs and experiences at Volition, Mike took me on a full tour of the building. I had no idea that Volition consists of 2 floors above a restaurant, sort of like the game studio Easter egg in Saints Row 2. After the official tour, Alex, Josh, and Mike set me up with some Agents of Mayhem. The build I played was the same one used at E3, so I didn't see anything new, but if I did, my contract would force me to give up my firstborn child if I leaked any information. From what I played, I was shocked by how fluent the game already feels. It was really smooth hopping on the buildings and switching between characters. The game also has a Crackdown/Borderlands type vibe with its shield's health and specials. After playing AOM, Mike showed me some rare and unseen videos like the raw concept video for Saints Row 1 and the gameplay of the Awesome Week Dragon in Saints Row 4. Let me just say that dragon gameplay was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. From there, it was on the Mike's Plan schedule where I got to meet Jordan Lin, Volition's user research manager. His job consists of studying and gathering data from playtesters to make sure they're getting the most out of Volition's games. Then it was on to lunch downstairs with senior designer Thad Sasser. Our conversation went a little something like this.
What would be the one thing that you would add to Saints Row?
Jonathan Sirhannis.
Who's Johnny Sahanis?
Back upstairs, Mike introduced me to Jason Blair and Jeff Belosky, head writer and fellow writer for Agents of Mayhem. It was really interesting to hear their methods and influences for making AOM's world and its characters. Next, I met art directors Jason Whiteside and Matt Flagel. These guys had some hilarious stories, and thanks to Jason, I'll never look at a cover of Red Faction Armageddon the same way again. Right after them, I was introduced to Lorcan Murphy, who's a senior designer. It was very intriguing to hear how his efforts help radical ideas become reality. From there, we walked over to associate audio designer Larry Gates. I had no clue how much effort goes into audio for games, especially for Agents of Mayhem. After that, Mike took me to meet Josh Behrens, associate animator. Josh explained what it was like to work with mocap actors and the process of making each little movement you see a character do in game. And lastly, I got to meet associate producer Mitch Cronin and producer Kate Nelson. I actually talked to Kate in the Saints Cast interview for Dad Outta Hell a year ago, so it was very nice talking to her again. Anyways, they explained the fun and struggles of being a producer and the difficulties of releasing games overseas. And that was it for my trip to Volition, but the fun didn't stop there. Mike sent me home with a whole bunch of awesome goodies. Here's some Red Faction comic books, an AOM poster, an Armageddon strategy guide signed by some of my homies I met at Volition. Then here are some cardboard designs for some of the Saints Row 3 characters. Shandi's original look is quite interesting. And here is a Saints Row 2 license plate. I freaking love this thing. And here's some very, very early concept art for the gangs in Saints Row 3. These are just amazing. Huh, the Ninja Bladers. The Agency and the Cowboys? What? Well, I hope you guys enjoy this little adventure. I'd like to thank everyone at Volition for taking the time to talk to me and help give me the greatest experience of my life. Mike, thanks again for allowing me to have this incredible opportunity. This next sacrifice is in your honor.